evening, everyone.
Dream of the day, right? Where we get live applause. I was thinking about that. We're not very long from that. 10 days.
Yep.
Right? So welcome. It's Tuesday. We're kind of just dreaming into the future. We're going to talk about all this stuff we have coming up for you tonight. So let's talk momentum. I'm a theme kind of girl. So I've been picking themes. I hope you've all caught on. This week I thought I'd tell you ahead. So we're going to talk about momentum, why you want momentum, how you keep momentum, everything momentum.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to do the rally. We're going to have PSD Joe Tansey join us tonight here in a few minutes. The Hot Twos, all about momentum, of course. And GBOGH at the Bowl.
Yeah.
Get big or go home at the Bowl. We're so excited. So many of you have already registered. Keep bringing your people. It's free live stream.
Yep.
Friday night, Saturday afternoonish, 11 to 3. We'll talk more about that. And of course, the best way to wrap up what's been an incredibly bizarre year will be to go to Keystone.
Yep.
So we're excited about that. We're going to keep talking about all of that stuff we have coming up. So let's talk about how we communicate with each other since you can't be in the room with us.
Yep. So we got the social media wall available. Let me swipe there it is. All right. So if you want to communicate with us, you use our hashtag on Twitter or Instagram. That's hashtag SNSD Factory. And then if you're on Facebook, you're going to use the mention function instead of the hashtag, and that's at Let's Get Big or Go Home. And if you're not a social media person, you can text us on the same text line that we use for the rally. That's 404-465-1830. And YouTube comments, emails, Facebook and Instagram private messages, all that stuff's not going to show up. They got to be public posts using those hashtags or those mentions, and then you'll show up on the wall with us. We're going to be using this like crazy during the bash at the bowl. I'm calling it the bash. I wanted him to call it the bash at the bowl. I'm still calling it the bash at the bowl. We've already done all the branding the other way, but it's like an old WCW wrestling pay-per-view.
All right, checking them off the list, right?
Yep.
Here we go. Promotions. Send us your promotions so we can recognize your people. People love to be recognized, even if it's just us standing up here calling out their names. So go out to getbigorgohome.com/downloads. You'll see the promotions right on top, and you can select whatever level that you're promoting them to. Your name is the RVP, their name is the promotee. And then make sure that you select Tuesday training, though. You'll see that we have 3 events there to pick from. So select Tuesday training, and we will be calling all those people out later on.
Yep.
It's very fun.
Get some shout outs.
All right. Trish, clear the board.
Cleared.
The rally is now live. So if you are an RVP or above, you need to make sure that you count your chickens, tell us how many people you got watching, and then shoot us a message at the text line telling us who you are. So RVP and your last name or your first and last name. If you're like Darren, Walter, Charles, sharing last names.
2 names.
If you got a last name like Smith or something common like that. And then just tell us the number of people you got. So the text number is 404-465-1830. Save that into your phone. And just start sending them in. We got Trish on board, counting everybody up, seeing who's going to be the top teams. And later on in the broadcast, we're going to check in with the top base shops and have each person individually report in. But for right now, RVPs only.
Right, and you are an RVP by yourself. It happens, right? You are a team too, though. You're a team leader of yourself.
Yep.
So please report you, right? We love to see all the RVPs, all the teams participating. Trish is busy over there counting them and writing them down even as we talk about it. We also want to talk about last week's winner.
Yeah.
Somebody finally broke Walter's streak. That's what I wrote down here. David Catan just broke Walter's winning streak.
Just came
out of nowhere. I talked to Walter earlier today. He's plotting his return even as we speak.
Yes.
Right, for number 10 for Walter.
Douglas MacArthur.
David Catan told me the other day on the phone, he goes, we spent all of our time only focusing on beating Walter. And he did it. It worked, right? So tip from everybody who's been a winner so far is rally your people all to the Zoom. Feed them Zoom off YouTube.
Yep.
Into your Zoom, and then you've got everybody right there. David Catan said he had 97 people and still 17 couldn't figure out how to do the text, but that's pretty good. That's 80%. It's better than usual. So we got
Who's
that.
next? Who's going to be the
next tonight?
Next one to hoist that amazing SNSD Factory Cup. Oh, hold on, don't want to go off camera.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's totally ruined now. I can do it perfectly. But yeah, who's going to be next to get that cup? So fight for it. Get your people involved. Make sure that they know how to get their text in at the end, because that's just as important as counting them on the front end. And you want to talk about the questions?
We'll talk about the question, right?
Or the lack of questions.
Or the lack of, right? So I had this idea last week. We ran that
Hold on. I think I said the SNSD Factory Cup,
sorry.
and I never. Just need a few
focused
more
on the next
to
thing,
catch
right?
up. Right.
So I had this idea last week. This very sweet lady that was a district under Walter Shanti. Wanted to know about doing the levels.
No, it was Kofor.
Was under Kofor? Okay. Wanted to know about doing the levels and all this stuff, and we were like, what's the answer? And we presented it all to you guys and brought everybody's opinions in about what the answer was, and so I thought that was a lot of fun.
They might be shy though, because that was kind of a trick question.
It was kind of a trick question. We know it was, but we actually. So last week I offered to you, send me a 30-second question on tickets@nightglass.com. I think you all might be afraid. No one sent any, right? Or you have no questions, which I find that hard to believe.
Darla values your feedback.
I do.
Your feedback is important to us here at Night Glass.
This is how we get to talk to you all, right? So we're looking for your questions. I'm sure you got a question about something. Everybody does, right? And Andy's always like, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people for not asking questions, right? So ask us the questions, right? And we'll put them out there to see if everybody can answer them. And if nobody does, we'll ask Andy. Because he knows all the answers.
Yeah, and if we see a lot of people asking the same question,
totally.
That's a good way for something to get all the way up to Andy, and Andy maybe will become a whole episode.
Exactly.
We'll devote to that or whatever.
Or we'll do a theme week on it or whatever. I mean,
Yep.
this is a great way for us to communicate with each other and see you lovely people again.
So here's the number one more time for the rally: 404-465-1830. RVPs only. RVPs only. RVPs only right now. Text in.
How's that? RVPs
only right now. I'm watching out for you, Trish. Now, so we need to know who you are, so tell us your last name at least and the number of people you got watching. You get somebody else that reports in halfway through. Do not be afraid to send us another text with an updated number, but at a certain point we're going to cut it off. We're going to call out the top teams and see who's really got the most people paying attention.
We're going to do that close to pretty much 8 o'clock. So you got an hour. Keep reaching out to your people. Take a minute, text them, direct message them, whatever you need to do to get them on. And actually, this is all really just a setup for the rally at Get Big or Go Home coming up, when we give you little team roundup moments.
Because it is time to get big or go home.
We need a thing that follows that.
Kung, kung, kung. Yeah.
So I thought that Art Williams' video, get that all out there, he did a video called Delay and You Will Fail. I thought that was perfect for momentum, because if you get off track, it's like, right? So, Matt, if you don't mind running the video, that would be great.
Folks, if you go back home and you're not a different person than the one that came here, then this has been a waste of time, okay? I've always said that to come to an event like this, if you want to be somebody, there's no cost to it. This did not cost you one penny to come here. If you spent $500 or $300 or $1,500 to come here, folks, that's an investment in your business. You have to invest money, you have to invest time to get a reward out of it, right? And so you made a great investment, okay, of time and money here to be somebody. Now, folks, I am a believer that when you get ready to win, something inside of you changes, okay? And I hope you have something here that you got here that would give you a reason to go home and tomorrow you'll be a different person than you were when you came here Wednesday or Thursday. And I don't mean hype. I think the worst thing some of you can do is go home and tell your partner, if she or he was not here, or go back and tell your family or your teammates, what you're going to do and all that kind of crap. That's great if you want to do that, okay? But what I think people need to see is somebody doing something, right? It is time for you to quit starving. It's time for you to quit fiddle farting around, okay? It is time right now for you to move your business. And folks, I believe this. I believe every hour, every day you delay putting something in motion in your business, the probability begins to get greater that you're going to fail. I believe that. Something big happened in New Orleans. Big, big stuff, okay? And folks, you have the motivation, you have the information, you have the ideas to go back and change your life in A.O. Williams. But every hour you delay in doing something different, the probability is greater that you will fail long range. So you better race home, and folks, you better do something different tomorrow than you were doing last week. And you better be a little bit more enthusiastic, a little bit more excited. You better see 1 or 2 or 3 more people, and I believe this is the last thing I'll say. I will go to my grave believing you can change your life in 30 days. There are some big people in here at one time at A.O. Williams that were making big money in the pools. And they've been devastated. We changed compensation. They were not building people. Their income was cut dramatically. And they just been sort of sitting in idle for a few months, hoping that something was going to happen that was going to catapult them back into big time. Some of you people are going to have to make some serious decisions, folks, because nothing's going to happen to you unless you make it happen, okay? You got to get intense. You got to sell out, balls to the wall, go do whatever you got to do as long as you got to do it to make it work. Now, folks, in business, some of you old timers that ain't, you've been here 5 years, 7 years, 15 years, and you're not everything you wanted to be at this moment in your time. Folks, don't sit around and think that A.O. Williams is going to come up with P&C and group insurance and new compensation. And unless you do something different, folks, you got to act like you did when you were a stud, right? You got to go, you ought to get there. I'm going to run Jimmy Meyer's tape 2 weeks from tomorrow on TV. Man, you ought to get Jimmy Meyer. You know what makes you? Meyer was not smart. He didn't have no business training. He didn't know what to do, but he just would not be beaten. He was totally balls to the wall, totally intense. All he had was faith going, right? So some of you old timers, you got to sell out one more time. And folks, every hour you delay in selling out from when we leave this arena right now, the greater probabilities are 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to be disappointed one more time. Some of you new tigers in here, you come here, you're not where you want to be. You're intimidated maybe a little bit right now. All I can tell you, folks, when we leave this arena here, when you go home, folks, I believe you can change your life in 30 days. I believe if you would go out the next 30 days and you would let it all hang out, okay? If you've been talking to 3 people a week, go talk to 3 people a day, okay? Go call an emergency meeting when you get home, okay? And you go do something different. And I'm telling you, you're going to be miserable because you're going to go back all hyped up and all jacked up, and you're going to go out there and you're going to find it's still tough to prospect. Your people still going to quit. Your competition's going to be nasty. You're going to see the same old ugly world, okay? And you're going to meet defeat after defeat after defeat, and there's going to be a temptation just to throw in the towel and give up. But I promise you, if you've got the courage to take what we've given you in New Orleans and go home for 30 days and go balls to the wall, totally intense, totally excited, when you want to quit, just somehow muster up the courage and go out there and just keep going for 1 month. And in 1 month, folks, be honest with yourself. If you don't see progress, quit and go get you a good job. And if you see some little flicker of hope or change in your life, then folks, get it up for one more time and go another 30 days, right? And I believe in 60 to 90 days, folks, you won't believe what will happen in your A.O. Williams career. I love y'all. Have a safe trip home. Bye-bye.
I think that is one of my all-time favorite videos from Art Williams. We were actually at that convention. I'm not sure how I feel about saying that, but we were actually there. He was on fire, and it's true, right? And so Andy's always big decisions
was it for
are
that
made.
event where Claudia was doing the typing, or was it
No,
the TV?
it was
Okay.
every week, or how often we did pools. It was like the old-fashioned way where everybody talked about paper, right? So Claudia had to type all the people who won the pools, which was epic. Like, took her days. It was crazy. But it was, everybody watched on Monday TV. They wanted to see how much money they got, and everything. It was a lot of fun. So, but Andy's always talking about, like, big decisions are made at big events. That's basically what Art just said.
Yep.
Right? So we're providing Tuesday for you to kind of bring you along, but plug in to Get Big or Go Home at the Bowl, right? You're going to see incredible speakers, incredible recognition, all kinds of fun stuff, and that's where you guys can change your life, right? Change your life right there.
Yep.
So next, we have a great friend, NSD Joe Tanzi from Cranberry, did I say it right? Cranberry, New Jersey, right? Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up?
Not
How you doing?
much. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. How's everything?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. I thought we'd start with just a few minutes of you talking about how you came to Primerica. I saw you joined in 1995.
Yep.
Is that right? So you would have joined after Art.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, so you were an overnight success,
No.
right? No. Oh, tell us everything. Tell us everything. You got like 15 minutes. Tell us all.
Well, you know, I now it's been 25 years I've been in the company. So yeah, we when I started, you know, I never saw Art Williams because Art Williams, you know, he left the company right there. But I was 21 years old. I was a college student. I went to a job fair in the Meadowlands, which is right there near New York. You know, it is tri-state job fair. I was in my last semester of school. And, you know, what you're always told to do, go get a JOB. And I had my fake resume, went to the job fair, and I was studying finance. So I was looking for something financial. But at the job fair, I didn't see anything really that stood out financial because, you know, my family was broke. So that's why I went into, you know, study money in school. I figured if I'm going to go to school, I might as well study something I am interested in. And which means I knew nothing about money. They didn't teach you the rule of 72. They didn't teach you how insurance worked. They didn't teach you any of that crap. But when I left the job fair, somebody grabbed my arm and said, I guess, you know, you didn't see our company. Because they asked me, what, you know, did you find what you were looking for? And I was like, no. And then a gentleman grabbed my arm that was with Primerica and said, I guess you didn't see our company. And he brought me over there to the booth. And it was a big booth, a big banner said Primerica Financial Services. And I was like, I don't know how I missed that. And thank God I didn't miss it because the guy told me, he said, the guy behind the booth right there made $26,000 last month. And he was like 27 years old, tall, slinky. And I sized him up. I said, if that guy can make 26 grand, I know I could do the same, right? And that was Ron Schmidt Jr., $1 million earner. So so that's how I got introduced to Primerica. They just, you know, gave me a sheet. Said, come down to our office. And then I came down and I was so excited. And when I saw the opportunity meeting, it blew my mind. You know, I didn't know, I thought I knew something, but when they showed the rule of 72 and the wall of wealth and how mutual funds work and insurance and the industry, I got totally excited about it. And that's where, you know, I really got focused. And it was funny because I didn't even know how the, you know, compensation, I didn't know how anything worked. I didn't ask. I just kept showing up. They said, show up Saturday. I showed up. They show up next week. I showed up. I didn't even know how you got paid or how it all worked. I was just excited to be part of something. And then like 3 weeks in, I asked one of the guys, how does this stuff work? What do you do? And then they're like, oh, you know, you got to pay for your own licenses. And I paid for my own licenses. It took me like 3 months to do it. I had my mom, you know, paid a license for me. And so I was really, you know, excited about it. but it didn't go quick, right? My first 12 months, I recruited one person. I didn't understand how it worked. That person left. They saw that, oh, they want, most people want everything quick, right? And so that's how it went my first 12 months. I helped my first family 9 months into the business. It took me 9 months to convince somebody that their whole life policy was bad and that term was better. I was getting them like 6 times the amount of coverage for like less than half the cost, but it took me 9 months to do that because they knew me, right? You know how it is when they know you, they don't believe you. And so that's how my first 12 months went. I made $101. Next year, I made about 3,300. And in my third year, 12,000. So that's all full time. So what kept Joe Tanzi still in the business, still excited, going to every training, showing up? Well, I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to change my life so bad. I wanted to win for me. I needed to win for me and my family. And I knew Primerica worked. Why did I know that? I saw so many people making so much money. There were thousands upon thousands of people winning. And the only reason I wasn't winning was because I didn't have the skill set, right? I didn't have the belief in myself. So if I worked on the skill set and the belief in myself, I knew it would work. So that was my first 3 years in business. So I really sold out to, like you were saying, Darla. I showed up at every event, big events. I got around people. I met Andy Young. I met Larry White. Wherever they said you got to go, that's where I went, because I knew playing sports, you go where the winners go. You just want to be on the team. Now, in the beginning, maybe I was a bench warmer, but I was still on the team, right? Maybe I was the water boy, but I was still on the team. And I just knew that if you hang around successful people, then it will rub off and you could become one. So I just understood that from sports. You don't sit home. You don't do this. You just get better, practice. And as I started practicing, getting better, and the mentorship from my uplines, it exploded. My business started changing. My 5th year, I made 129,000. My 6th year, I made 364,000. So, within 5 years, my whole business changed. But that was because of my dedication to the system, to getting good at my skills, to really plugging into self-improvement, to working on myself diligently. I don't know about you guys, but in high school and college, I got through without reading a full book. Did anybody could relate to me, right? You know what I'm talking about. If you're a little older, you know Cliff, right? Cliff Notes. Anybody know Cliff Notes, right? Young people like, who the hell is Cliff, right? So I got through college without, reading a book and all that stuff. Because, in the beginning, they make you buy a book for $300. You don't use it. You sell it back to the bookstore for $20. So I figured I ain't going to do that crap. I ain't going to read the book anyway. So I really got, once I got into the business, they're like, well, you gotta read these books. And I'm like, well, I don't like to read. They're like, too damn bad. You better learn how to like to read, because if you want to be somebody, you got to learn what wealthy people are teaching. And it's funny how they hide all the great information and all the secrets that nobody wants to tell you in a book. It's all in a book. Or if you come to a conference, most people, well, when's the conference? Saturday. I don't want to go Saturday. Saturday's my day off. I work 5 days a week and I'm only off Saturday, right? So what happens is, when I started to really focus on that and started reading a book, I remember the first book I read cover to cover. I was so excited. I was so jacked up, but more importantly, of the stuff that I learned there. And then as I learned it, I learned the secret to reading or going to an event or anything where you're going to learn something. The secret is applying it. So it's not good enough to learn it. You have to apply it. So I started to learn, okay, I learned this at a seminar. I learned this. What are the 4 or 5 things? Now let me apply it right away. And if you apply it within 24 hours of when you learn it, the odds are you're going to make it yours and you're going to keep it. So the secret in changing your life is not only learning, because there's a lot of people who are very smart. Okay, you heard Art Williams say that. Jimmy Myers, he said Jimmy Myers wasn't smart. I mean, that's what he said. But obviously he's very smart, okay? To make $2 million a year, you're very smart. So what he's saying is he wasn't book smart, okay? Some people could tell you, they could get on Jeopardy and win who is this, who is that? And they can win that, but they're broke. And see, I didn't want to be that person. And I learned that taking action is the key to changing your life. So that's how I started a business. I really, I saw so many people who had so much talent. They knew people. They had such a network. They were so smart, but they couldn't show up. They couldn't show up consistently and learn a simple system that allows a lot of people to change their life. It's amazing how many people that come into business, they look and say, well, Joe, I don't understand. How's Andy making $1.5 million? How are these people making all this money? How is that possible? It's like, no. You're thinking too much. We solve a fundamental need of families, a huge need. Ever since COVID-19 came out, our business has more than doubled. Why? Because people are now awake, right? Or the new word is woke. They're woke. They're woke to the fact that their financial fortress or their house is not where they need it to be, right? The need for wills went up 146% since COVID came out because people are like, oh my God, if I die, what's going to happen to my family? Who's going to take care of my kids? What's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. The need for life insurance has increased tremendously. The need for understanding investments. Oh my God, the market went down. People are like, oh my God, I'm losing. They don't understand. They need a financial coach. So see, we're in a business that everybody needs to know about finance. It's not complicated. It really isn't. But the industry makes you think it's complicated because they want to take advantage of us. And see, the easiest way to take advantage of adults is to talk to them about stuff that make it a little complicated and ask them a question. They don't want to look stupid, so they're gonna, hey, do you know the rule of 72? Yeah, I know it. Yeah. You know about a Roth IRA? Yeah, I know about it. Because adults don't want to seem stupid, so they're going to say yes to something they really mean no about. I can give you a very simple example, right? And men know this one. I don't know about women. Women are a little more coachable than men. If we're driving, men, and we're kind of lost, right? There you go. You're laughing at it, right? We're kind of lost. And your wife goes, honey, maybe you should ask somebody, or maybe you should put in, no, I've been here before. I know where to, I'm laughing because I did that like a week ago, right? And I said, no, I know, I've been here before. And then I've been up, make a U-turn, go back. And she said, why didn't you because we're a man, and that's what we do. Adults do that. You know the rule of 70? Yeah. You know that? Yeah, I got it. I don't need any help, because we're taught that if we ask for help, we seem weak. And that's not true. We're not weak, right? Weakness is when you don't want to ask for help because you think you know it all. And see, they really know, banks and insurance companies really know how to take advantage of the middle market. And that's why I love Primerica, because we're teachers, right? Everybody loves teachers because they're there to help the kids and help, teach somebody how to do something. We're teachers. We're just highly paid teachers that allow the opportunity to bring people with us so they could change their life financially. Think about it. The best teacher is the one that becomes a teacher in the process. So see, how do you become great with your finances? By getting in a business where you get to teach about finance. That's how you become the best with your finances. So that's what I look at. I'm not special. I just saw an opportunity, and I had great mentors and leaders around me, like Frank Dillon, like Andy Young, like Ron Schmidt Jr. And they showed me, hey, this is what you need to do. And if they did it and I want to do it, then guess what I did? I just grabbed their coattails and I followed them. And that's how I started in the business, Darla. And guess what? It's amazing. Everybody around me told me don't do it. Everybody around me told me get a job with good benefits and be secure and do that. But see, the one thing that I learned is never take advice from people that are broker than you, number one, and never take advice from people that are not going to say, if Oliver told me, hey, Joe, don't do it, then my question is, okay, Oliver, what are me and you going to do to change our family's life? Mm-hmm. And if Oliver doesn't say, Joe, we're going to do something, then I can't follow him because I'm not looking for approval. Because people that have never done something big are always going to tell you not to do something because they ain't do it. But if you go around people that have done something in their life, and you say, this is what I'm going to do, they're going to say, man, go for it. I know you can do it. Believe in yourself. That means when you say you're going to go do something that's out of the ordinary, that means you believe in yourself. And see, we need more people that believe in themselves instead of going, so what do you think? Do you think I should do it? And they go, okay. What do you think? You think I should do it? Guys, stop asking people. What you're saying is you don't want to take the bull by the horns and go after it. See, that's one of the keys to being successful is you can't care what other people think.
Right.
You got to go against the grain. You know it's right. You know what we do is right. You see the facts, how whole life works, how universal, how variable universal, all those things. You see the facts with the banks. You see the facts with how many people are unemployed who didn't have a spare tire in their trunk when the crisis hit. You see the facts. How many millions of people unemployed? The facts are there. So again, this just proves that what Primerica does has been and always will be right, because the company is doubling in size. People are exploding. We have $1 million earner promoted every month this year. So it's 9 months into the year. There's been $9 million earners from every walk of life, every race, color, creed. And that, I don't know about you, but it's exciting for me to be a part of a company that says anybody can win. It's not just having a sign in the office at work saying we believe in equal opportunity, and it's a sign on the wall that's required by the state, versus let me show you the team we got. See, guys, I don't know about you, but I get fired up. So Darla, that's how I started. You had me go.
No, you were great. That was awesome. So it made me think, like you said, you paid your own license?
Yeah.
Right? So we have such a great opportunity now. That set you back a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yes, it did. It's me. I got in April. I was licensed by September. So,
like, it seems that your theme is just don't quit, right? Just don't quit. You might not be able to do the stuff right now, but don't quit. Right? And so I had somebody ask me a question while you were talking, and they said, knowing what you know now, looking back, would you build your business any different, or do you love exactly how you built it?
The only thing I would change is I wouldn't care what people thought of me.
Thought so much, yeah.
In the beginning, I was worried about, oh my God, if I talk to Darla, what is she going to think of me? And, I'm doing this thing and I'm building a team, and I care too much of what people thought. And if I could go back, I wouldn't have wasted 3 years of my life, because those people that I cared about,
right, I
don't even know where they are right now.
Right.
And my own family who told me don't do it, they love me like you can't believe.
Yeah. I bet, right?
So, therefore, all that crap I had in my head was fake.
Yeah. So what was your most favorite personal improvement book? Oof. One that had the most impact?
I would say, I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. Those are like my prized possessions.
I bet, right? Jim Rohn, Build a Library.
There's so many. There's so many. Think and Grow Rich, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Developing the Leaders Around You by John Maxwell, the 21 Irrefutable Law. Leadership, just changed my whole life. Learning how to develop people. You heard Art say that there.
Yeah.
People that learn how to develop people. That I would have also changed. I would have believed in people more. And the only way I could believe in other people is if I believed in myself. The problem was I didn't believe in myself, so I projected that onto other people. Right. Oh, I don't think Carla could do it, so I'll do it for her. But lo and behold, I was really, talking about myself, because if I believe in you, I would push you.
Good advice.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Like with your kids. Yeah. If you're soft on your kids, that means you don't believe in your kids. But if you're hard on your kids, it's because you want the best for them. And it's the same thing here. Like we always talk tough love.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great advice. Kay, can you stick around for about 5 minutes or so and wrap it up and give us the charge? Right? We're going to do a little quick thing with our rally and see how everybody's paying attention. We'll be right back to you. Thank you. Ooh, that was awesome, right?
I don't know what Joe's talking about. I've never been lost before.
Yeah,
ever in my life.
Whatever. That's a lie in itself right there.
I love too. He was talking about
number 3.
He wouldn't just read something; he would apply it. Because I know Boyson always says everybody already knows more than they do. Like you know it, but you're not doing it.
You're right. That's a great line too, right, Bobby? All right, so we're going to take 2 seconds here and check in with the rally. Trish, you got some people you want to recognize for reporting?
Sure. Got a whole mess of them.
Oh, yay. Those are our favorite kind. We got just a couple minutes.
Yep. All right, y'all help me look over my shoulder, correct my pronunciation. Here we go. Jamal Richmond, Belda Rubio, Ron Schmidt Sr., Judy Marshall, Linda Muse, Terry Sheridan, Joe Red, Laura Langston, Ian Kahn, Hamad Rizvi, Kim Trin, okay, Merv Willie Browse, Amanda Lorfeis, Jeremy Morrow, the Stebners, Keith and Joan Ottinger, J10 and Mike Martin, Gigi McGinnis, Rolf Shakar, Eddie Espinosa, Robert Berryman, Tammy and Ron Lewis, Connie Whitmere, Peggy and Jaron King, Bobby Cheeks, the Pallants, Zell Parker, Beth Bynum, Caesar Marmaleo, David and Garci Catan.
Parentiatico.
Oh.
There you go. I didn't even attempt. Elizabeth Luceris, Sabitri Crenshaw, Dino Heiler, Dottie Roach, Greg Paris, Robbie Hall, Weston Shea Florinord. How do you say her first name again? Meggie Charles, Mary Hayes, Daryl Julian, Cassandra Scott, William Kofer, Lakeisha and Aaron Thomas, Walter Charles, Jerry and Dolores Snavely, Janique, Richard and Joanne Shaw, Desiree Ladon, Tanya Searcy, and Shanti Walker.
You guys are
wow, it's over 50 RVPs
yes,
reporting in right
job,
now. That's
everybody.
a big deal.
Some names I haven't seen in a while. Welcome to the party. We're glad that you are doing the rally. Don't take that. That won't
All
know
right,
what's
so
next.
the rally's still going on. If you're an RVP and you're watching, you got an update to your numbers, or you haven't reported your numbers yet, get a count of how many people you got watching on your base shop, and then shoot us a text telling us who you are, how many people you got watching, to 404-465-1830. And let's say, I think that's it. We'll welcome back Joe.
Joe, like, if you can give us 5 more minutes, set us up for the week. Give us your best 5 minutes. We would love it. We're so glad that you were with us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys and Andy. And, you know, Andy has been such a great mentor for me, an example, because, you know, he started when he was young also. But I just think that, you know, the mindset that I think the new associates need to have is the fact that, and this is what I notice, when new people get into business, they're doing like they're sticking their toe in it. If it works, I'll do more of it. And the reality is, if you have that mentality, it's not going to work. Because the truth is, anything you're ever successful at, it's because you were committed to. So think about this. If you started a new job tomorrow, or even a part-time job, you would show up the first day. You would show up early. You would show up prepared. You would show up ready. You would show up nervous but eager, right? And what happens here is we give a scholarship. We pay for all your licensing. You get money while you're in training. So it's a paid training program. But the thing is that people get scared. Well, what if I tried and it doesn't work? So therefore, that mindset is, I'm not going to give it my all, because if I don't give it my all and it doesn't work, at least I could say, well, you know, it was only $99. I didn't give it much, you know, blah, blah, blah. And see, that's a recipe for failure. Because think about this. The minute you had kids, did you do the same commitment? You know, I'll just be a little committed to my kids. And, you know, if they turn out to be good, I'll be more committed. No, you didn't. Did you do that when you went to school? Just think about it. I treated the business like I treated college. I went 4.5 years to college. I paid them. They never paid me not one dime. But yet I showed up to every class. And my mindset was, when I went to class and I saw kids not show up, I got upset with them. Because I'm like, look, I'm paying this. And some kids got financial aid, and some kids had their parents pay, and they didn't value it. And I'm sitting there like, they didn't show up, and I'm paying for it. And it's my money I'm paying out of my pocket. And I'm looking, how could you not show up if you pay for it? So I treated Primerica like I did college. I gave college 4.5 years, right? Don't ask why it was a half, right? It's usually 4, but 4.5, right? I showed up to every class. I studied in college. I didn't study in high school, right? But I said, if I gave college 4.5 years, look what happened to me. So I'm going to give 4.5 years to the business, but I'm going to give it the 4.5 years like I did, okay, with college. I showed up to every class. I studied. I gave all my effort. I went in, I focused, and I did it. And then guess what happened, right? My 5th year in business, I made $129,000. And now this is in year 2000. So you got to figure, how many people were making 6 figures in the year 2000, right? So you look at it, and then things change. And then Darla, when you win, everybody says, I believed you and I knew you could do it. But everything comes down to commitment. So you got to commit to building your team. You got to commit to building yourself. You got to commit to studying your craft, getting good at your skill set. Trust me, there are people out there who want to change their life like you. And that's all I focus on. There are people like me. And now, because of what's happening with Zoom, we went from having an office in Cranberry, New Jersey, right? And okay, if you get somebody who's an hour and 20 minutes out, they'll still come to train an hour and a half, So we would build a team with people around us. And now with this, a business with no borders, we have people, Texas, Indiana, Colorado, Massachusetts, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, where else are we? We're all over California. So in 5 short months, the expansion of our business has changed because there are so many people out there who need this. Think about this. We got 1,500 people on this tonight? 1,500 people from all different locations. See, I don't know about you, but what business model allows you to transform and build a business better? We had an unbelievable business. We've always had the most 6-7 figure earners than any other company. And now with this, it's just going bigger, faster, better. Can you imagine where the company is going to be in the next 2-3 years? So I'm just excited about this. Right now, we are on track. We're on our $1 million run. So we got our shirt here. We'll click over to 9 Diamond this month.
Wow,
right?
That's awesome.
It says you got now, I got next, Shark Hierarchy $1 million run. What that means is you got now, right? When Frank Dillon was going for $1 million, I was like, Frank, you got now. I'm going to hit the trenches. We're going to build you up. We're going to get you there. But then once you get there, I got next.
Yep, that's great.
And that's the mindset that winners have to have. It's not, oh, you're winning, I'm not winning, so therefore, no. In Primerica, you always pay back the person who gave you the opportunity. Well, why do you talk about your uplines like that? Why do you care about them so much? Well, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. Think about this.
Yeah.
Your upline one day doesn't have to call you, doesn't have to answer your call, and could just say, you know what? Forget about that. I ain't putting up with that. But they didn't. See, and you got to remember, every one of us were not easy. No, Joe, I was coachable. No, we're difficult. Everybody's difficult. We're human beings, we're difficult. And your upline had the mercy, the grace to say, you know what, I believe in this person. I'm going to look past that and keep calling you. And the way you repay them is by being the best you could be. That's how you repay them, being the best you could be. And I don't know about you, but I am always looking to repay, the leaders that invested in me, pay it forward. It's like when Andy called, hey, Joe, can you, yeah, man, come on. Of course I could. Come on. All this stuff you've done for me, Ron Schmidt Jr., Ron Schmidt's, come on. Look, I am only here because a lot of people wanted me to be here and they believed in me. So look, you got to believe in other people. You got to go out there and show people you believe in them and go aggressive because you only live once. Life goes like this, man.
Yeah.
Life goes like this. Look at Chadwick Boseman. Life like this. But you know what? One thing that he modeled is that guy was sick while he did Black Panther, while he did all those movies, but he did it anyway. He didn't cry about it. He didn't ask, but he did it because he wanted to do what he loved doing, and he impacted the world forever. See, I don't know about you, but I want to impact. I want to impact. I know Andy wants to impact.
Yeah.
Why do financially independent people still keep going and still go after it? Because it's not about the money, it's about the impact. Make sense?
Yeah.
So Darla, Matt, I hope I helped out.
You were great. You were great.
Awesome.
It was great to see you. I'm so glad that you were here on tonight and joined us. And I'm totally pumped up.
That's
that was awesome.
Thank you so much,
great.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Let's give it up for
Can we have
Joe.
applause. Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Yeah, I hope you guys were taking notes because there was plenty to write about there.
Yep.
For sure. All right. Well, I was going to do promotions next, but I think let's adjust our schedule just a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the bowl. Matt, if we can skip over to the bowl graphic. So free streaming this weekend for our big event, Get Big or Go Home at the Bowl. So I've had so many questions about the bowl. It's actually called the Bowl at Sugar Hill. It's the little town that we live in.
Yep.
Right? And it's building itself up. It was just basically, I don't know, like two buildings 5 years ago, and now it's this huge thing. So there's a picture of the plaza.
That's not the
That's
promenade?
not the promenade, that's the
plaza.
plaza. And then what else you got? There's the sign, the bowl. And the bowl actually looks like that. We were down there, I told you last week. It is so awesome down there, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Commodores have played there. They've played, I'm sure they had to play Brick House.
Yes.
So that'll be good for Miss Peggy. And so the 25th and 26th, that's Friday and Saturday.
8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
On Friday, right?
On Friday night. So we've allowed for West Coasters to get off work or whatever they need to do. Join us at 5. And then 11 to 3 on Saturday.
Okay. Just
like we did when we did the big event in Unicoi. And then if you are a double-digit recruiter and part of the VIP, we'll be doing the VIP huddle at 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and you'll receive your links for that on Friday night. So pretty much just like that, except for one small thing.
Small little detail.
We changed a small little detail. We are going to take advantage of all the space that you see in the bowl, and we have invited some people, hand invited. You've seen us do this before. We've done a few more this time, though.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. There's a few more people this time. They got closed invites, but big but,
because Rob and I have been kind of like scheming this idea for a few weeks now. So here it goes. You get to do it.
All right. So if you go to Get Big or Go Home right now, like right now, it actually started at 7:45. While we were talking to Joe, and you go to register, tickets are live right now. For if you want to be there in person, limited amount of tickets, very limited amount of tickets. So you got to be a district and above to buy them, and then you got your max that you can buy is two. So if you cut to my screen right now, Matt, you could show where we've got it right here. So here's your registration. Obviously, the cutoff is September 20th, so that's for the VIP. But you can see you get to choose from the free streaming with as many as you want, or you can get one or two of the in-person. So get on that right now because we only have a handful of them. I promise you they're going to be sold out by tonight.
Like the smallest amount I've ever sold anywhere, right? So this is our little kind of ease back a little bit. There's plenty of room. The bowl holds an enormous amount of people. We're only taking a small fraction of people.
If you need a hotel, the Mall of Georgia, if you've ever been to our Super Saturdays, those same hotels near the Mall of Georgia are a convenient location for this
And you can always email tickets at nightglass.com, and Trish and I will get with you and give you a hand for anything that you need. Let's see, what else were we looking? Okay, Rob already talked about recognition cutoff date is this Sunday, always the Sunday before the event. I'll be pulling the list on Monday morning. We're coordinating with the home office. If you are an RVP that has never participated in one of our events before, go out to getbiggergohome.com/downloads and download the new RVP form so that the home office will pull your numbers.
Cut to my computer, Matt. I got it pulled up right now.
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
So here we're at Get Big or Go Home. We've clicked the download tab right over here. And then right here, new RVP. So if you've never plugged into one of our big events before and you're an RVP or above, we need to get the rights to pull your data in for our VIP reports. So we got to get permission from the home office. So if you'll sign that paperwork, send it in to tickets.nightglass. And we need it probably before September 20th.
You need it no later than September 20th. They are the home office for Primerica Field people, so they're the best at.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Can we add 5 more? They're like, of course you can.
And you need a registration in your own name if you want to be a part of the VIP. If you want the recognition, you want to get it on the VIP huddle, you need a registration in your own name. So.
Okay, one other thing I wanted to remind us, I picked the art video for a couple of things, but mostly a lot for the first 2 lines.
Mm-hmm.
This is an investment in your business, right? And
Yep.
Andy's so generous as to provide the streaming part for free. Eventually, we will get back together. I know I've been saying that since March. We were joking, who would have thought we'd still here, but right? But we will. And these things are investments, your time and your focus, because it's a lot harder to focus from your house than it is when we were all together in Winston-Salem.
Building relationships with new team members over Zoom.
This
it's
is
tough,
the time.
It's a tough ask.
And so you got to be a lot more intentional about things now, right? So that's why we've been still cranking out these big events, asking for your time commitment to them, so that you guys can make big decisions at these events, even though we can't hug you all, which is what I would love to do.
Do you want to do the promotions real quick?
Can you help me read them?
Okay.
These have been coming in during the weeks.
You want to talk about how to submit them, or what did you want me to do with that thing?
Oh, no, let's do that, right? You're right.
Okay.
Can we go back to the screen?
Or you're going to have to do it, because my screen.
The computer screen. All right, so he's got the promotions download page up on the website, and you see all the little tabs. But if you go down to the bottom, it says for which event. So what we do on Tuesdays, we just read the promotions out loud so that your people can hear their names on TV, and that's a ton of fun. But we're still going to do promotions for the big event.
Yep.
So the big event, though, is only going to be looking at September, July and August. So only looking at July and August promotions. And we want them all. I would like to know all your RVP promotions, if you've had SVP promotions, district and up. We're not going to do cards for senior rep. We're going to do cattle call for senior rep, so they'll get something, but it won't be their names called. Right? But everything from district on up, submit that now, especially if you kind of already know. It'd be nice for you guys to start doing them so we can start pulling things together. So I went ahead and put Keystone there. I guess you could start that.
It's the same process as sending the promotions for Tuesday training, but now you got a couple options for the next big event as well as Keystone to get those promotions in.
So
now
we're going to read the promotions. All right,
where am I going, from bottom to top?
Right here, going up.
All right, from Bernard Champagane's shop, we got Shobha Pandy, sorry, and Jolene Jenkie's base shop. Am I right? Is that right? The base shop's over there. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a.
Look how
I don't have the top. So Amanda and Marcia Lorfus to RVP. Jolene Jenkie is also promoting Martha Odiese to RVP. Jolene Jenkie is promoting Stephanie Ingerville to district. Sylvia Robinson is promoting Technicia Day to district. Joe and Carolyn Red are promoting Michael Campbell to district. Walter Charles is promoting Alice Howard to division. You want to take over?
Walter Charles is also promoting Zoe Kahan to district. Terry Sheridan's promoting Seneca Britton to district, as well as Katara Harris. I think we're going to hear from her to district. And, she got double. Naomi Williams to division out of the Terry Sheridan hierarchy. Anthony Malone is promoting Abby Adeliquo. You say it again.
Adeliquo.
To district?
Adeliquo.
All right, that's everybody.
I'm dying on that hill now.
On that hill. You did great. Thank you. So between us, we'll get everybody. So I said we'd read their name. I didn't say we wouldn't slaughter them, but we're going to continue to do our best.
Rally graphic, right?
Rally graphic one more time.
This is your last chance. You just got a few more minutes for RVPs to get your final count, so you people in your base shop watching right now. So text 404-465-1830. Tell us who you are. Tell us how many people you got watching. And we'll be coming right back after the Hot Twos and Terry Sheridan's people. We're going to be finding out who the top teams are.
Yes. Actually, we're going to find out right after Terry. Terry Sheridan's joined us. She's like consistently in the top of the leaderboard. We're glad that she's with us. And she has brought 2 of her people, and they're going to talk to us about momentum.
Sounds good.
Welcome, Terry. Glad you're here. Nice to see you. Yay.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so thankful for you guys and all you do. You asked us to speak about momentum. So it was kind of I was thinking about that, Darla, and I thought, momentum is more precious than gold in Primerica. That is the key. And I thought about when COVID hit and how so many people in the world, their world stopped turning, their momentum just screeched to a halt. And everybody was scrambling and worried, what's going to happen to my business? We were a one-on-one business, we can't go. And I was thinking about all the people that we had in play at that time, and I was like, holy cow, we weren't just blessed, we were so far out there blessed that we were part of not just Primerica that stepped up to the plate, but Andy Young's Primerica that stepped up to the plate. And he called in the troops. And when I say troops, he didn't call in, the little players, Matt, Darla, Trisha, Claudia, the night glass team that, put together this spectacular event where, Darla, it was funny. We were talking about how it was fun, just to have that. And it's like, I'm not there yet. So I don't have the Jimmy Myers, the Mike Sharp, Peggy Hightowers of the company that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, can you get on a Zoom and talk to my people and coach them up? And until I get to that level, I'm just going to use Andy's millions. And that's just, that's priceless, that we didn't lose our momentum. We actually doubled during such a crisis time. And we were able to, just flourish and grow thanks to these events. So, I was laughing when Joe Tansey talked about his first event, because I have to be honest and say, my very first event was a Super Saturday at the home office. So being that I was already a business owner, my husband's a business owner, I'm really taking this a little lightly. But when you pull up to that home office, you realize the magnitude, and this is no longer a little thing. So as we go in and the excitement, the craziness, the activity that was going on. And I did just like Joe. I looked around the room, and I won't mention names, but I was like, oh, that person, oh, she can, I got this. And it just shows you, okay, in this massive building, these people running around acting crazy, having fun, we're making all this money. And they're everyday people. They're no different. And, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I got this. So that taught me right there how important events were. And then, we all get to that place where, we're stupid and we think, oh, I got this. I don't need one more event. And then as you develop your leadership skills, you realize it's not about you being there. It's about having your people there, letting them see that, them know that big decisions are made at big events, and getting them to make that connection with someone besides you, and for them to be able to connect and find their new reality and their momentum in that event. So, I can't say enough about events, but at this point, y'all have already heard from Sarah and Tamara, two of my senior regionals, mother-daughter team, and what they're doing. So I brought two of my amazing double-digit leg regional leaders on with me tonight. And I just asked them, Darla, to share a little bit about themselves and how they got here and their favorite event and the momentum that it sparked for them. Because I'm telling you, without these events, especially through COVID, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it was really nice to have. And we're thankful for you guys. So first I want to ask Miss LaTanya Harris. don't be shy, girl. Tell the world who you are and how you ended up here and about your experience. I think we need to unmute you and let you tell us about you. And I'm so thankful for this lady and her leadership. She is running her own training. She's Johnny on the spot. She's just amazing. So I'm super thankful for you, LaTanya. Let's see what you got to say.
Hey, LaTanya, we're glad you're here with us. Give us a couple minutes. Tell us everything that you can in 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is LaTanya, and I've been in the educational field for 32 years. I now own a private school, which allows me to assist adults to receive their high school diploma. But about 2 years ago, a friend of mine brought Terry Sheridan to my office. And I'm going to be honest, I just didn't want to be bothered. I just didn't want to hear anything about Primerica based on what I thought that I knew about Primerica. But I'm grateful that Terry Sheridan, the greatest coach, did not give up on me. I'm grateful for her persistence, her passion. I'm just grateful that she just lingered around just for me. After several missed appointments, I stood her up time after time. But I gave in one day and I sat down with Terry. And as smart and educated as I am, sitting down with Terry, I realized that I had been deceived. I had been robbed for 22 years. I had tucked away the wrong life insurance policy. And on top of that, I was a newlywed with no coverage on my new husband. But I'm grateful for Terry. I can say she was God sent, because that day that I did settle myself and sit down with her and we talked and she explained everything to me, went over a few points about the business. My husband and myself, we ended up getting a life policy. But I'm going to fast forward, not knowing that 11 months later, my new husband left me a widow. 11 months later, left me a widow. But I can't say that Primerica, they saved me when I know that no other company would have paid me. And because of that, I am on a mission to properly protect and financially educate everyone that I meet. At my very first event, she told me, she said, you got to get to a super Saturday. And I drove 3.5 hours, not knowing what to expect, not really knowing where to go, depending upon the GPS. But when I arrived, when I walked into the building, it was so amazing. The people were friendly. The energy was just so awesome. I could feel the energy of success just being in the room. And I can say that was my very first event, and that I left that place charged, energized, ready to properly protect everybody that crossed my path. Now I'm excited because I'm on my way to Denver, Colorado, and I'm excited about that trip. Thank you.
Oh, that was fun.
Great.
That was great. Great story. We're so glad that you shared all that with us. I love your excitement. Thank you. Who else you got there with us?
Natalie Molden. This lady here, she's ex-military. I don't think that I've met many women with her strength and determination, and she's a blessing to our team. And we'll let her share a little bit about, her excitement for big events, and let her motivate some other folks, because I'm telling you, she's a treasure.
Great. Welcome. Tell us everything.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Terry, so much for being such a great coach, a wonderful leader. So on tonight, I definitely want to acknowledge you and say thank you. I'm from Albany, Georgia, and as Terry said, I'm retired military, go blue, retired from the Air Force. But my story is a little different. So when I came back home to Albany, I decided to join my family in our family business. So we own a funeral home, and we've been around 40 plus years, a pillar in the community. And so this is spot on for what we do. If you think about people who are losing people. And so this was a great opportunity for me, even though in the beginning when Terry showed up, I really wasn't interested in the business. I was really interested in life insurance. I had something that I wasn't happy with. and I needed a replacement. And she showed up at the right time. And so, although she did talk to me about the business, I just wasn't ready for it during that time. I just felt like the timing wasn't right. My husband, he's still serving on active duty. So we've got 2 young boys, and I was working 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And I just felt like I couldn't really take anything else on at that time. And so I wasn't really interested in the business. But fast forward, 2 years later, at this point, my son is almost 2 years old, and I decided to step out on faith, and I wanted to, open in my own business. So I have a crematory, but my money was running low. And I remember what Terry Sheridan talked about, freedom of time and freedom of money. And so I called her like in a panic, almost like, Terry, I need your help. Can you help me? Is that thing still available that you were telling me about? And just the love that she gave me in that moment, I'll treasure forever. And so that's really how I got started in Primerica, needing freedom of time and definitely freedom of money. And so since then, it's just been a whirlwind, but it's been awesome. It really has. And so believe it or not, my very first event was Keystone.
Oh, excellent.
Amazing for that to be your first
start.
event. And to go to Keystone, I was starstruck because I was hearing all the positive things that was coming across in that environment, seeing the excitement, just seeing how people were so driven and focused. I mean, it was really a contagious atmosphere. And I just knew that, wow, I too want to do and be a part of what these people are doing. I want to be a part of this awesomeness. I want to be able to help change others. And I knew that I could do that by being in funeral service. And, looking back on that, and this was around the time when Peggy Hightower, she reached her million, and everyone was just celebrating this. And this was huge. And then I met Bobby Busan. That was amazing. I even met Andy. So I met all these people who at the time, I didn't really know who they were, but now it's like, wow, I was able to rub elbows with some of the big people. And, I just think about just how kind everyone was, but I also remember how exciting it was. And I just think about, when you think about momentum, momentum is really like a power surge. And so you have to keep doing that thing so that it'll last for a while. And then you have to turn it around and get your team in on what you see and what you feel. So at this point for me, I've made it up in my mind that I will not miss any events. I'm excited about going to Keystone again this year. And so just really trying to rally, get all of our teammates excited, just as excited as we are. And so that's just what it is for me, just making sure that we are in the mix. We are doing the things that we need to do to be successful in this business. And that's just one of the things, you have to be where it's happening. You have to be there. And so, again, I'm just excited. I just want to tell you guys, if you don't do anything else, make sure that you stay plugged in, you stay excited, you keep that momentum, you keep going, and you just do the things that that's going to work, and don't reinvent the wheel.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling us your story and joining us tonight. I love your enthusiasm as well. That is so great. What a great place to start your career in Primerica at.
Yeah, Keystone.
Like starting at the top of the pile there, right?
Yep.
That is awesome. Terry Sheridan, you did a great job. Thank you for bringing our people. I've had 2 or 3 comments in my phone about how much everybody's kind of liking this mix of RVPs, and they're highlighting a couple of the people on their team. So maybe we'll kind of add that to our list of little, what are they called? Little tricks in our whatever.
A repertoire.
I don't want to say anything because then it'll be, I'll make fun of my little sayings.
Darla-isms?
Darla-isms. All right, my whole life. Okay. I'm just like my aunt, right? My aunt does the same thing. Hers are much more, but mine are just a little bit. Let's bring Trish back. Michigan. And it is the Michigan, maybe. Could blame it all there, right?
I know. Yes, you can.
Watch my shoes. I took them off.
Will do.
So, additional people. Anybody new?
Oh yeah, but they're all mixed in now.
Oh, okay.
I had to sort. I had to do my little sort here.
All right.
Sorry.
We're in the final throws, right? What time is it?
Okay, so it looks like you've added a little over 10 since the last time
Yeah.
you announced it, looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
great, you guys. This is so much fun.
It is. So it's rocking and rolling. And y'all, I love it when you call in or when you text back in and you've changed your number. It keeps going up one by one.
Yes.
That's all it takes. Some of them are jumping 10. Some of them are, but it's just, I like going back and having to go find those names and change that number. So it's good.
Are you looking for you?
I'm just looking for more people.
Oh, okay. Looking for more people. We need more
Who's
people.
added?
Oh, well.
No,
I have them
I'm
on my
looking. You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm just this
We're
it's
kinda
for my
light.
own edification.
It's all right. I can show you later.
We're short on
Okay,
time.
so we're doing top three,
Top three.
and it's 70 and over. This is how big it's
this
gotten.
is crazy
It is crazy.
and awesome.
It is. It's wonderful. So I'm going to have to go recruit Claudia to help me again because I know this is going to be a lot. So, okay. So Walter Charles reports in he has 70.
It's a good number.
Okay.
Weston Shea Florinord report in they have 74.
Ooh.
And our first triple digit,
Whoa.
David and
Got our
Garcia
work cut out
Catan
for us.
report in they have 100.
Wow.
So we'll see how close we get.
All right, so you guys know
So
the drill.
only those 3 RVPs, please. Walter Charles, Weston Shea Florinord, and David and Garcia Catan. Just those 3. And I appreciate it. I'll see y'all back in a bit.
All right. All
So
right.
yeah, if you're in the Walter
got your
Charles
work
base
cut out
shop,
for you
you're in the
now.
Catan base shop, or you're in the Florinord base shop, we need you to save this number in your phone. It's 404-465-1830. If you are a member of that base shop now, you don't have to be an RVP, but as long as you're in those 3 base shops, I want you to text Trish, tell us who your RVP is, so we make sure we count you for the right team. And then we want your solution number. If you don't have one and you can't remember it, put some X's or put guest if you're the first time you're seeing this. Main thing is we want to make sure we get you counted for the right RVP, so get that in there at the very least. So we don't know who you are.
We do
All
not.
right.
Right? That's the only way we know.
Do we want to
So-
talk about the thing?
You say that to me all the time. What is
this thing?
Oh, no, we're sold out.
Okay.
Right? Honestly, we had very few tickets. We wanted to put them out there, like let everybody kind of go
Yep.
for getting them, see what happens next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you got tickets, congratulations.
Yep.
Please, I think the best thing to do is email tickets@nightglass.com so we can help you with some information that you'll need to know.
Yep.
Make sure, what else? If you aren't going to join us, make sure you get a registration though, because
Yep.
that's how we know who is engaged.
Yeah, whether you're in person or virtual,
Right.
you need a
You've
registration
gotta
so that we
register,
can get your VIP
right?
figured out.
So we can recognize you, because there's a ton of people to recognize. Double-digit
Absolutely.
recruiting is the way to go. You would have done double-digit recruiting in July and August.
Wow.
All right, big months. So it should be a ton of us, right? So, all right, very fun, very exciting. Thank you to Terry. Thank you, Trish. You guys are doing a great job. David Catan, 100.
Wow.
Triple digits.
Triple
first
digits.
time, right? So let's see what we can get to verify.
We'll find out.
All right.
We'll find out who's.
We will find out. So we have one last little segment. We're called the Hot Twos. Tonight we are going to hear from 3 gentlemen who are going to talk about momentum, right? They have 2 minutes or less to give us their best. We're going to start with Eddie Espinoza. Is that who you got up, Matt?
He's getting into place.
Eddie.
Yeah, I had to unmute myself.
Is that?
There he is.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, how's it going, Darla?
Good, good. Tell us everything that you can in 2 minutes or less about momentum.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, just being in this environment itself is momentum itself, And one thing that I like to, the analogy that I like to put with momentum is that momentum is like, it's not like it is. It's horsepower. It's like in cars you got your torque, and your torque is what gets you up to speed. And the horsepower, it's what keeps you up there, up to speed. And so when we're talking about momentum, there's just three things that, I think, from what I've learned, and especially from what Joe has, talked about. As a matter of fact, Joe was one of the first people that actually saw my first event when I first came in. And it's great seeing him again and just, doing a phenomenal job. But, number one is just growing as a leader, always growing as a leader, because if you stop growing, then you're no longer expanding. You're no longer helping out other people. Number two is recognizing the moment, recognizing that there's momentum happening, because if you don't recognize it, then you could definitely lose it right away. And number three is always going for something. I see that, Andy, he's always going for something, and that's what keeps momentum always going. That momentum wave of how big or how small it is based on your leadership. If your leadership is small, then you have a small wave. If you have a bigger leadership, then you're riding a bigger wave, and you can ride that wave as far and as long as you want. You should be riding that wave all the way to SNSD, because at the end of the day, guys, this is an SNSD factory. Darla, thank you so much. Back to you.
It's awesome, right? You caught us off guard. Not Matt, though. He was all over it. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that you came, Eddie. Yes? Okay, good. Good job. All right, next we have up Olivier Brutus. 2 minutes, buddy, on momentum. You've been really pushing it. Tell us everything you've been doing in 2 minutes or less, and I'm setting the timer like Breakfast Club.
All right. Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for all the great team up there. I get to go home. I miss you guys. Looking forward to see you guys soon. But listen, when it comes to momentum, we hear Art Williams talk a lot about how you are 10 times worse than you really are without momentum, but 10 times better than you really are with momentum. Yeah. So really you want to fight like crazy to get yourself momentum, because honestly, it's funny reading one time with John Maxwell, he mentioned that great leaders focus on growing and keeping momentum, but managers focus on fixing problems. And really, all you want to do is really work on getting your momentum up. And so usually what you're looking at is 3 weeks out, where you have massive activity going on, where you have a lot of people making calls, calling their referrals, getting in a hot market, getting the hot recruits going on, getting in your teammates warm markets, getting them districts, getting them running to RVP and all that good stuff. And once you have that momentum, then you want to do everything you can to keep it. Because really, I used to hear our leaders say how it's like a rocket ship when you're starting this whole thing, right? 90% of the fuel, you use 90% of that fuel for the rocket ship to get it off the ground. But once it gets off the ground, literally a box fan can move it around in orbit. And so you really want to think of your business that way. In the beginning, you cannot do anything. Like really, what do you think any president does during their 8-year period while they're in term? I mean, almost nothing else. That's what they're doing for a short period of time. We hear Andy Young talk about how he missed all the Super Bowls in the beginning because he was trying to get that rocket ship off the ground. But eventually when it got off the ground, he has not missed a Super Bowl since. So eventually the business runs without us, but we have to do everything we can in the beginning to get that momentum up, because it's the most precious thing. Just like Terry Sheridan said earlier, it's just like gold. So thank you, Darla. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rob, my man. And looking forward to see all you guys, Trish, Claudia, everybody, Matt. Looking forward to you guys see you soon.
Thank you. Hold on, I got to stop. Oh, there we go. Okay. Good job. 2 minutes.
That was right on the money.
Right? But you're right, like such great analogies there, and about how much effort that Andy put in the beginning, how much effort everybody has put in the beginning, so that you can have the payoff at the end. So we have one more guy from out of Florida, right? Hamad Rizvi, Florida, right? You're down in Florida?
No. Virginia.
I'm wrong. Where are you?
We're in Virginia.
Virginia, that's right. I'm sorry. We're glad you're with us. Can you give us 2 minutes on?
All right, great. Thank you very much, Darla. Thank you to the whole Night Glass crew for putting on these events, and thanks to Rob and Amy for holding it down with the online meetings here, and thanks for Andy Young letting us plug into these events and plug into these meetings. And I got a lot of people to thank, actually. Thank you to my team and my wife, and obviously my upline, Andrea. And I appreciate being on the line here with Eddie and Olivier. Olivier is a hero of mine, and also so is Wes and Shay. Congratulations to them. I'm very jealous of Shay right now. Just a little bit about momentum, real quick. Just a few pointers. One is to just try to keep the blinders on. You know, I think for momentum, you know, you really got to just stay focused and keep going as fast as you can, kind of like running downhill, you know, just drown out all the other noise. There's so many mixed messages in Primerica now that you got to just focus in on what it is that you're trying to do. And, you know, never mistake the beginning for the end. And so that's what we're focused on, trying to keep our momentum going, knowing that, you know, this is just the beginning. We haven't done anything yet. And we're just pushing, just keeping the same play, running the same play over and over. And that's all we got. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. That was great. I appreciate it. Everybody loves like hearing other people. Like we all have common struggles.
Yep.
Right? But everybody's got a creative way to go about it. But ultimately is the action. Mm-hmm. What did Joe Tansey say was what you applied?
It's what you applied.
Right?
Yep.
What you applied.
Not what you know, what you
applied. What a great theme. I like this theme. All right, you guys, let me make sure I turn my timer off now so it doesn't go off later.
The elevator music go off again. All right.
So I want to announce one real quick. Out of the Doris Rodriguez hierarchy, she is promoting Knight Shimella to district.
Awesome. District promotions, man. Those are the bricks.
Those are
building the
bricks.
hierarchy right there. Now,
okay.
All right, so top 3 base shops. You still got about 10 minutes to get those last numbers in for your reporting. If you cut to my computer one more time, we've got the Walter Charles, the Catan base shop, and the Florinor base shop. Those are the ones that are fighting right now, the top 3. And if you cut back to that graphic, we got the number 404-465-1830. If you're a member of those 3 base shops, text in right now. Tell us which base shop you're from. Tell us your solution number and make sure you get counted. We're not going to count more than one person per phone number that sends us in a text message, right? So I can't take out my phone and type in me and Darla's solution number and send it in. So it's not going to work like that. Each individual person's got to report in.
You.
Yep.
She will delete you.
All right.
So, okay, well, let's move on. We want to talk about Keystone just for a second.
Yep.
Right? We don't want to, now is the time we start Keystone. Like we talk about it up to this point. We always know it's out there. But it is a contest as well, right? We run recognition for Keystone from January through end of month October.
Yep.
Right? So it's a pretty long period. A lot of people kind of join us midway. They don't realize what we're doing, but there's an actual contest period running. It started January 1st, end of month October. So it is December 3rd through the 6th in Keystone, Colorado. You can register at getbiggergohome.com under the Keystone logo.
And I had somebody ask me yesterday, well, what's going on with Keystone? Is it really going to happen?
Yes.
Hell yes, it's going to happen. We're doing it.
We're going.
Well, I mean, if we gotta pull some rabbits out of a hat and cycle some people in and out.
That's the thing I was trying to think of the other day, just a few minutes ago. Rabbits out of hat. That's
pull a rabbit out of the sock that gets blown out of the water. Matt loves that one. That's a Darlanism.
We are going to pull rabbits out of the hats. I got it right. Well, you got it right.
People in glass houses sink ships. Darla's. Yeah.
All right, sign up because we have this much fun in Keystone.
Yeah, no, we'll make it work. We'll be safe
committed.
And we'll make it happen. And we're going to make sure it's as great as it always is, and even better, like we always do. Finding a way to top ourselves.
Exactly.
So do not want to miss it. Register.
Right?
Get
so
bigger.
let's run a just quick little promo to remind us what the snow is like.
Oh yeah.
Hey, where are the doors open?
You think you got what it takes?
If you want to build a big team, you got to be in events like this.
SNSD Factory.
I love that little promo. It's just quick and to the point, right? So there you go. Go out and register, get prepared, start thinking about traveling a little bit.
Yep.
It's never a better time than right now. It's cleaner than ever.
Very affordable.
Right? Very affordable. So December 3rd through the 6th. Are we there? 8:26. Oh,
Yep.
the system. Why don't you talk about the system?
So next week on Get Big or Go Home Tuesday training, we are going to be going a dive deep into the follow-up, the orientation, whatever you want to call it. This is the meeting that Andy has after he's already presented for a recruit. So he does the presentation, the recruit signs up, and he says, okay, you know, the next couple of days we need to get back together, and I'm going to kind of give you the download on what your next steps are. We're going to go really deep into that, get the nitty-gritty of what it takes to do that, do it right, and not only right, but why he does it a certain way. Makes you, because it's very deceptively simple. So
yes, that's, yeah, you had some real specific questions that you want to ask him too.
Yeah.
So Andy and I will do the follow-up together like we did the presentation, and then Rob will have the opportunity to ask all those questions that you have on your mind about why he does it the way he does, and those guys will work together. And
but the system is there online if you want to, at our website, if you want to check in, see the presentation, see all that. But we're going to be really diving deep and getting the details next week. We got any more promotions, or we want to just?
Nope, we're good for promotions. You guys have put in tons more than you did last week, so I think we'll just start gaining momentum like we have with the rally. You guys start putting them in for us. Remember, Matt, if you could. Sorry about that.
Trish, you need us to vamp?
Nope.
You good?
Trish is ready.
We're almost to the end. So start now for next week's promotions. You can start anytime. So maybe you promoted somebody tonight while you were watching.
Whoops, sorry, wrong button. Wrong button.
Drum roll, please. All right, rally. Can we have the rally winner graphic?
Trish isn't ready. Never mind. Never mind.
Now we have to.
I'm ready. I just can't remember my own name sometimes.
Oh, that's not true.
So,
here we go. New drum roll.
So Walter Charles reported in. He had 70 tuned in. He had 55 report in. Then we had Wes and Shay report that they have 74 tuned in. We counted 45. And David and Garcia Catan reported they had 100. They had 99 reported.
Wow.
There you go. Good job, David and Garcia.
Yep.
They figured out that little edge right there.
They still got one person fell through the cracks. So.
Well, it could have come through by the time I walked over here. So
he's probably hunting them down now.
Exactly.
Good job, and we will arrange your coaching call for 10 minutes. We'll put it with the other one. You'll get 20, right? And we'll send you the second cup in your cup collection. And I'm sure Walter's going to have something to say about all this tonight. We'll be waiting, Walter, for your text. Right? So we love a little competition. So everybody can play. You just need more people.
Yeah. Got to get big or go home.
Or go home. No. All right, you guys, we're glad that you were with us. We're going to do the follow-up next week. We're pushing towards the Get Big or Go Home event. Make sure you've registered. Make sure you make the recognition
how fast did we sell out? Do we know yet?
No, she didn't have an answer for us yet, but we did sell out of the tickets we had in like less than 10.
Yeah,
for sure.
Probably 10 minutes.
Probably more closer to 5, right? So might find a few more for next week. That was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you're tuned in. Watch it. Click the live button. You don't want to be watching 10 seconds after everybody else.
Hey, you know what? Before we leave, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube page. It's super important that we get as many of those as possible. It helps ranks it. It
helps us with the algorithm and stuff. Make sure we get recommended after.
It's important.
After somebody watches an R video or something, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing.
Nice.
If I was an algorithm, that's what I would do.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Good night.
Oh yeah. Hold on. We want to see the wall. We got a request. Let me refresh
We're gonna refresh the wall.
There you go.
All right, you guys. Have a great week. You're in the 3rd week of the month.
Yep.
Pushing it to the end. We will see you next Tuesday. Have a good night.